Pull up a log, settle in, and let the crackle of the fire set the mood. There's something about a campfire that makes stories come alive, especially when the night air is thick with anticipation. Let me take you to a place where the cypress trees stand like ancient sentinels, their roots twisting deep into the earth, holding secrets older than memory itself. We're heading down to a little town in Arkansas, right near the Texas border, Fouke. It's the kind of place you might miss if you blink while driving by, but it's unforgettable once you know its story. Life here moves at a gentle, unhurried pace. Neighbors wave from their porches, and everyone knows each other's names. It's a place where tradition runs deep and the past is never far away. But Fouke sits on the edge of the Sulphur River bottoms, a wild, tangled world of swamps, creeks, and shadowy thickets. Spanish moss drapes from the trees, and the air is thick with the scent of earth and water. It's a landscape that feels both beautiful and forbidding, a place where the line between reality and legend blurs. When the sun sets and the moon rises, the woods transform. Long shadows stretch across the ground, and every rustle in the underbrush seems to carry a hint of the unknown. This is Boggy Creek country, a place that feels untouched by time, where the wildness of nature is always just a step away. The creek winds through the land like a living thing, its waters dark and mysterious. The people of Fouke have learned to live alongside the swamp, respecting its moods and its mysteries. Stories are passed down from one generation to the next, tales of strange cries echoing through the night, of eyes glinting in the darkness, and of an uneasy feeling that you're never truly alone. These aren't just stories to frighten children. They're born from real experiences, moments when the hair on the back of your neck stands up, and you sense something watching from the shadows just beyond the firelight. The swamp shapes the lives and imaginations of everyone here. Its foggy mornings and pitch-black nights have inspired a folklore that's as thick and tangled as the woods themselves. And from this murky, mysterious landscape, one of America's most fascinating monster legends was born. It's the story of a creature that walks upright on two legs, covered head to toe in shaggy hair, leaving behind enormous footprints and broken branches in its wake. The locals call it the Fouke Monster, a name whispered with a mix of fear, pride, and curiosity. It's become a symbol of the town, drawing visitors and monster hunters from far and wide. So, lean in closer to the fire, let your imagination roam, and join me as we journey into the heart of this incredible mystery, where the line between fact and folklore is as shadowy as the woods themselves.
Things you only talk about at the back of the cave.
Every legend has a beginning, and in the heart of southern Arkansas, where the air hangs thick with mist and the forests seem endless, a story was quietly taking root. In Fouke, it started with whispers in the night, soft, uncertain at first, but impossible to ignore for those who listened closely. For years, locals heard odd howls and chilling screams echoing from the swamp, sounds that didn't match any known animal and sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest hunters. Some said it was the wind, others blamed wildcats, but deep down, everyone wondered if something else was out there. Hunters found huge three-toed tracks pressed deep into the mud, far bigger than any bear or wild hog. The prints were so unusual that even seasoned outdoorsmen were left scratching their heads, unable to explain what could have made them. These stories were quietly shared, passed from one neighbor to another on front porches and in small-town diners, becoming part of the local lore that shaped Fouke's identity. In the 1950s and 60s, the sightings increased. More and more people claimed to see a large, hairy, ape-like creature roaming the tangled Sulphur River bottoms. The tales grew bolder, and the sense of unease in the community deepened. People saw it crossing lonely roads at night, its eyes reflecting a strange, unnatural glow in the headlights, freezing drivers in their tracks. Sometimes it would just stand at the edge of the woods, half hidden by the trees, silently watching anyone who dared to come too close. The descriptions were eerily consistent: tall, bipedal, covered in matted dark hair, and always accompanied by a foul, musky odor that lingered long after it vanished into the shadows. In 1964, a terrified family reported a massive ape-like creature harassing their livestock. This time, law enforcement got involved, combing the area for evidence, but found nothing but broken fences and frightened animals. The mystery only deepened. The story spread like wildfire, making headlines in local newspapers and sparking heated conversations in every corner of town. More people came forward, eager to share their own strange encounters and unexplained sightings. These early reports established the creature's key features: its massive size, thick hair, three-toed tracks, and that unforgettable, terrible odor. Each new account added another piece to the puzzle, fueling speculation and fear. The Fouke Monster was no longer just a boogeyman whispered about to scare children. It was becoming a cryptid with a distinct profile, a legend that was taking on a life of its own in the collective imagination of Fouke. The whispers were growing louder, echoing through the swamps and into the hearts of everyone in town. The sense of anticipation was palpable. Something was coming and no one knew what it wanted. The monster was about to make a house call, and Fouke would never be the same again. The Fouke Monster legend exploded after one terrifying night in May 1971. The Ford family, new to a house near the swamp, saw a large, dark shape move past their window. Elizabeth Ford thought it was a bear, until it walked on two legs. The family armed themselves and went outside, spotting a massive, hairy figure with glowing red eyes. Bobby Ford fired his shotgun. The creature screamed and vanished into the swamp. But it returned, reaching through an open window and clawing at Elizabeth. The men rushed to help and the creature retreated, leaving deep scratches and a lingering, awful smell. The next morning, three-toed tracks circled the house, and the siding was damaged. The Fords, shaken, soon moved away. Their story and the physical evidence drew the attention of local authorities and the media. Suddenly, the Fouke Monster was national news. The Fords' ordeal became the cornerstone of the legend. The beast of Boggy Creek had arrived. So what did people see in the shadows of Boggy Creek? Eyewitnesses describe a creature 7 to 8 feet tall, broad and heavily built, far too massive to be a person in a costume. Its body is covered in long, dark hair, often matted with mud and debris. The face is ape-like, but with a hint of humanity, and the eyes glow red or amber in the dark. It moves upright on two legs, but with a strange loping run and swinging arms. The creature slips through the swamp with surprising speed and silence. And then there's the smell, a foul, overpowering stench like skunk and rot, often noticed before the creature is seen. These details, height, hair, glowing eyes, swift movement, and that unforgettable odor create the fearsome image of the Fouke Monster. It's a creature you don't forget. And for many, it's all too real. The legend lives in every chilling description. Beyond sightings, the Fouke Monster leaves behind its most compelling evidence: footprints. For decades, large three-toed tracks have been found in the muddy banks of Boggy Creek. These prints, often 14 to 17 inches long, are unlike any known animal in North America. The three-toed feature is the creature's signature, earning it the nickname Southern Sasquatch. After the Ford family's encounter, investigators found these tracks all around their property. Hunters and locals continue to find them in dirt roads, creek beds, and fields. Each new discovery keeps the legend alive. Skeptics suggest misidentified animal tracks or hoaxes, but the sheer number and consistency of the prints make that hard to believe. For believers, these footprints are hard proof. Something unknown walks the swamps of Fouke. The tracks are a mystery that refuses to fade. In 1972, the Fouke Monster became a cultural phenomenon thanks to Charles B. Pierce. Pierce, fascinated by the reports, made a film, The Legend of Boggy Creek. He used real locals and their stories, blending reenactments with interviews for a documentary feel. The film's eerie soundtrack and visuals captured the spooky atmosphere of the Arkansas swamps. Against all odds, it was a massive box office hit, earning over $20 million. The movie introduced the Fouke Monster to a national audience and inspired a wave of similar films. Tourists and monster hunters flocked to Fouke, eager to see the legend for themselves. The town, once quiet, was suddenly famous. The film cemented the Fouke Monster in American folklore. It became a household name and a pop culture icon. The legend from the swamp had gone Hollywood, and Fouke would never be the same. After the movie's success, the Fouke Monster became the town's unofficial mascot. Tourists and thrill seekers arrived, bringing new attention and business. The Monster Mart opened, selling souvenirs and serving as an unofficial museum for the legend. The town hosts an annual Fouke Monster Festival with guest speakers, witness stories, and swamp tours. What once caused fear now brings pride and entertainment. The festival keeps the story alive for new generations. The Fouke Monster is more than a scary tale. It's part of the town's culture. It's featured in books, TV shows, and films, ensuring its place in pop culture. Most residents have embraced the legend as a unique part of their heritage. The Fouke Monster has given this small town a big story to tell. Not everyone believes a giant, hairy creature roams the Arkansas swamps. Skeptics offer alternative explanations. Misidentified black bears, distorted animal tracks, or even hoaxes. A bear standing on its hind legs can look human-like, especially in poor light. Some suggest pranksters created fake footprints or dressed up to scare people, especially after the movie's success. The lack of physical evidence, no bones, hair, or body, fuels doubt. Human psychology also plays a role. Once a story is well known, people may interpret shadows or noises as the monster. The legend's excitement and fear can be contagious. Skeptics don't accuse witnesses of lying, but believe perceptions are shaped by the powerful story. These questions keep the debate alive. The mystery endures, with believers and doubters both drawn to the legend. Despite skepticism, the hunt for the Fouke Monster continues. Today's monster hunters use night vision cameras, thermal imagers, and audio recorders, searching for scientific proof. They interview witnesses, map sightings, and set up equipment deep in the Sulphur River bottoms. The internet connects researchers worldwide, allowing instant sharing and analysis of evidence. It's no longer just about spooky stories, it's about data and peer review. Yet the Fouke Monster remains elusive, no clear photos, no body, just more questions. For dedicated researchers, the search is far from over. The swamp's vastness makes it the perfect hiding place. As long as strange tracks and sightings persist, the hunt will go on. The passion for the unknown drives them forward. The legend inspires new generations to explore the mysteries in their own backyards. The Fouke Monster remains a creature of shadow and intrigue. Why does the Fouke Monster still capture our imagination after all these years? What is it about this elusive creature that keeps us coming back to the swamps and forests of southern Arkansas, searching for answers in the mist? The legend has endured for generations, passed down in whispers and wide-eyed retellings, refusing to fade away. It represents the wild and unknown in a world that feels mapped and explained. In an age where satellites can see every corner of the earth, the Fouke Monster reminds us that there are still places and stories that remain untamed, just beyond the reach of certainty. The story has all the elements of a great American legend: a spooky setting, terrified witnesses, and a mysterious creature with unforgettable features. It's a tale that chills the spine and sparks the imagination, inviting us to wonder what might be lurking just out of sight. The Legend of Boggy Creek movie brought the tale to a national audience, making it feel real and thrilling. Suddenly, the Fouke Monster wasn't just a local legend, it was a phenomenon, inspiring countless viewers to look at the woods with new eyes and wonder what secrets they might hold. The Fouke Monster blurs the line between fact and folklore, inviting debate and wonder. It's a story that lives in the conversations of locals, in the headlines of old newspapers, and in the curious glances exchanged by those who've heard the tales. Whether you're a believer, a skeptic, or somewhere in between, the mystery has room for everyone. It brings people together, families, friends, and strangers, around campfires and kitchen tables, sharing stories that are equal parts fear and fascination. It connects us to the wildness of nature and the tradition of storytelling. The Fouke Monster is more than just a creature. It's a symbol of the unknown, a reminder that the world is still full of mysteries waiting to be explored. The legend endures because it lives in the space between the known and the unknown. It's a story that grows with every retelling, shaped by the hopes, fears, and dreams of those who hear it. As long as the cypress trees stand over the swamp, we'll keep telling its story. The Fouke Monster is woven into the landscape, as much a part of the place as the moss and the mist. The Fouke Monster reminds us that some mysteries are worth keeping alive. It's a spark of wonder in a world that sometimes feels too ordinary, a reason to keep looking over our shoulders and listening for the unknown. And maybe, just maybe, something is still watching from the shadows, waiting for the next chapter in its legend to be written.